All right, what's happening, guys? Just making the post-match thoughts and review. Tottenham against Brighton, and I could sum this up. I could finish this video now because all you have to say is we're shit. That's it. Top to bottom, shit. Manager got it wrong today. Players looked awful, uninspiring. Like, it's just unacceptable from the top to bottom. There's nothing good about it. There was not a single point good about this. But anyway, let's move in. Got some notes, quick notes on the game. 3 minutes in, Brighton hit post. 16 minutes in, Brighton scored. 25 minutes in, I wrote we are awful. 29 minutes in, Bergwijn gets the first shot off for us. It's not on target, but it's the only thing I got. Like we had. Halftime comes, no tempo. We look slow. We look sad. Looks like nobody wants to be there. Bale and Son are off golfing. Playing terrible football. Question mark, should we bring Harry Redknapp back? Probably. Halftime subs, Sanchez gets hooked for Vinny, which I think is rough on Sanchez because he had a good game. He was having a pretty good half. Had a lot of clearances, had a lot of headers won, had a lot of blocks. So that sucks for him. Vinny should have started, I believe. 60 minutes in, I had to write something down because it's halftime at 60 minutes. Nothing new, still shit. 61 minutes in, Gareth Bale gets hooked for Lucas. Bale looked uninspired. He just, he doesn't look like he's a game changer. He's even ready to play at that level. He kind of looks like he's just like moping around or like, oh, I'm gonna make this run when I want to make this run. Nah, I'm gonna run for the team even if it's not working out for us. 74 minutes in, Lamela on for Tanguy. He gets hurt. Hopefully it's not too bad because if we're out Tanguy and Giovanni Lo Celso, it's over. We're done. I'm really praying Gio gets back soon. But anyway, we'll talk about that later in a little bit. 84th minute, Brighton should have scored the second. Unlucky. Toby, they hit a break. Toby covers the ball like right on the goal line. So they should have scored. We should have been down 2-0. 87th minute, Lamela shoots a useless free kick. Full time. We lose 1-0. And literally there's not a positive thing on here, which just goes to show how bad we were. I'd at least look for something like, oh, Gio's then Dembele's playing well, Højbjerg's got a shot, Son looks lively. No, nothing. Literally Son was pedestrian, the entire team was pedestrian. There was not a player on the team who looked like they wanted to win, who looked like they cared about the team or about being Tottenham Hotspurs. They just looked terrible. So these are my thoughts in a circle. Jose Mourinho, terrible tactics. Lineup was awful. He just got it completely wrong. Terribly wrong. Players not good enough. The players look bad. They don't look good. Why would we drop Matt Doherty and Aurier? I understand there might have been an issue in the locker room, in the changing room after. But Aurier's still better than Sissoko at right back. I don't get what point you're trying to prove. Doherty would still be better than Sissoko at right back. Why are we doing this? Sissoko's not a right back or a right wing back. It's just not. Like, he's not that at all. 3 at the back is useless for us. It's just too defensive. Why are we playing so scared? Why are we playing with such a safety net? And our safety net isn't even good. Like, our tactics, I think the issue with Jose Mourinho's tactics is that he wants us to counterattack and break and be lethal, which we can be with Kane and Son. Kane's injured. Son threw up a goose egg today. But he wants us to be lethal and counter, score every single chance we get, and then in his past teams, he had defenses that were incredible. That Chelsea defense with John Terry, Ivanovic, the Real Madrid defense with Ramos and Pepe. I want to say that's correct. The Inter Milan defense that he had, he's had great defenses. These lockdown teams. We're not that. We have Eric Dyer and Ben Davies. I'm sorry, but you can't expect them to step up to that kind of legend status for those clubs. Those guys are legends of their clubs. Eric Dyer and Ben Davies will never be legends of the club. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. They're not that good. They're not, they're just average role players. So, him having that game plan of counterattack, defend, doesn't work for us. It just doesn't. It's not possible. Our players aren't good enough for that. Mentality is poor. We showed that because we had no response after the goal. We just kind of limped over. We just fell limp, and that was it. Had nothing. No one had any answers. No one had any kind of drive to lift the team. Let's see. Team overhaul needed. I do think there's not many players in the team. There's no reason for players to, how would you say, to stay, in a sense. Like, we're not winning. The team's not good enough to win. So why would Son stay? Why would Kane stay? Why would Ndombele stay? Why would even Højbjerg stay? Like, these guys that just signed, like, they're seeing what it is. The guys around them aren't good enough. Maybe the tactics are definitely not good enough. The lineups aren't good enough. Like, nothing in that squad is good enough. That was the worst 90 minutes I've ever seen of football. It was terrible. It was just launch the ball down the field, pray to God we get it, and then we don't, and then it's coming back the other way. The only thing I could think of that would help us is Lo Celso coming back. I would slot him right into next to Højbjerg or Ndombele down and Lo Celso at the 10. And just have them, control the ball, set a tempo, because we're bypassing midfield entirely. Like, our midfield is non-existent, and without Kane, we're like, clearly you saw we don't have anything going forward. We're not looking lethal. There's no kind of playmaking. So I think Lo Celso could help with that. But still, one player isn't gonna win us these games or gonna get us points. I think I saw on there, out of the last 11 games, we've dropped points in 8 matches. So that's a loss or a draw in 8 matches. So what, we won 3 in 11? That's unacceptable. We went from being first to being 6th on 33 points. Let's check real quick. All right. We're on 33 points, tied with Chelsea and Everton. Everton have a game in hand on us, and we have a game in hand on Chelsea, who we play next, who just won, who are looking good. Even Arsenal, and their worst, like literally one of the worst seasons I've ever watched them have, are 31 points, and this is one of their worst seasons. All right, given we have a game in hand on them, but 31 points, and our game in hand is against Chelsea. So they could easily win their next game and leap us. Without Aubameyang, there's been no Ozil. He already left. Like, they have no creativity. Their defense is in shambles, and they're 31. They're 2 points behind us. Like, I don't know what to say. Yeah, no, there's nothing good about this. There's nothing. I would have 100% have to say I'm probably Jose out now. He's not looking like the team's being inspired by him at all. Like, the team's fighting for him whatsoever. A bunch of players have to go. I think Dele Alli has to go just because he has been non-existent in the team. He's played no role at all season. I'd sell him, maybe recoup some money and try to fix something else. Get Sabitzer in, get a center back in, do something. Move on Davies, see if you could find somebody for Ben Davies, because that guy's not good enough. Get a right back in. Get a new right back in. Matt Doherty hasn't been good enough. Aurier's still mistake prone. Even though he's had a good season, but I don't know why he just got completely dropped. I think it's not fair. And we need a creative midfielder, and we probably need another central midfielder, a box-to-box midfielder. I'm hoping Gio could step up into one of those situations, but we still need someone to really set the tempo. Kind of like Gini Wijnaldum does for Liverpool. He's not necessarily their creator or their center defensive mid, but he's a real good tempo-setting guy. He does good numbers, real productive in the midfield. But that's it, man. I want to say we played Chelsea next. We played Chelsea on Thursday. Let's see right here. We played Chelsea on Thursday. Then we got West Brom Sunday. And then Man City follows in the league on Saturday. Everton sneaks in there on an FA Cup draw. But like, if we lose to Chelsea, Jose's got to go. I'm sorry. If we lose to Chelsea, Jose 100% has to go. I'd rather just give it to Sacramento and hope he's not as negative as Jose with 5 at the back and never really taking responsibility for, like, oh, I messed up on tactics or I messed up on lineup. I have to learn from this. It's just always kind of like not wanting to say anything or throw anybody under the bus or himself or take accountability in a sense. But yeah, if we lose to Chelsea, he's got to go 100%. I'm already Jose out after this. How are we losing so many games? How did we not get goals or productivity out of Bergwijn, out of Son, out of Ndombele, out of Bale, out of Vinicius? Like, there's no way. I don't think there's a team or a manager who wouldn't be able to get those guys to at least do something, to show up. Maybe not good wins, fancy football wins, but at least win. And that's the other negative, is that Jose plays ugly football. I'm okay with ugly, terrible looking football if we win. If we win 1-0, 2-1, 2-0, 3-1, I'm okay. I'm fine. I'd rather win, get silverware than have fancy football. But we're not winning. The football is terrible, and it's not even fun to watch. I literally regret wasting my 90 minutes or whatever it is, including halftime. Like, it's just not. It's not even. I don't even want to watch this anymore. It's just terrible. So that's my thoughts. Hopefully we could do something against Chelsea. Hopefully we show up. Hopefully Giovanni Lo Celso somehow comes back and fixes all our problems. But who knows, man? We suck. There's not a good note on here. So have a good one, guys. I'll be back. Try and do another show totally for the EPL. And yeah, that's it.